So, what do you recall, I guess, growing up around race cars? What's your first memory of being in the shop or seeing a car? What car was it?
The Well, when I first started in the shop, I was probably 7 years old, but
Mm.
I remember being 4 or 5 when my dad did have Super Modified, and it was down there, and of course, every kid wants to sit in it, so obviously I did that. So when he won the classic, which was a '66, I was only 3 years old,
Mm.
and so obviously I wasn't there. But I did get a chance to see him run them, but I was so young. There's a lot of it I don't remember,
Yep.
and and then as he got into the late model aspect of things, that's when um, I worked in a shop. I mean, I started at 7 years old in a
Yeah.
shop, and just worked on his cars all that time. He won multiple races, multiple championships at Berlin. I mean, there's nobody better around Berlin than him. But then he did start to run a super modified again back when Sammy Sessions raced for Gawker Motorsports there, and he got he got killed. I think snowmobile racing or something. They asked my dad to drive it. That was probably the time that I remember him running a super modified and going to the races, and I was probably 12, 13 at that point in time. And
Yeah.
that was probably my first introduction to the supers was at age that I could remember, and a pretty cool race car.
They are. They're crazy. Just learning through that book about the classic itself, the evolution of those cars is fascinating.
I think, when he went there, he always talked about that they were starting to bring in the roadsters from the Indy cars. And then he built what we would call a wedge car back in that day. And I just remember hearing the story. So he went out qualified and he was fast. Well, I don't remember what the bracket was, whether it was 20 seconds or 19, whatever that bracket was. He's the first one into that bracket. And they said nobody can go that fast. It made him requalify 3 times. So he kept working on that car, kept going faster. And I thought that was kind of funny. And then he won the race. And
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times that when we used to race Watkins Glen, people would always ask me, "Is that your dad?" And I says, "Yep, it is." And it doesn't matter where you go up in that end of the country. I get asked that every time and still do today.